Garrett.
Dr. Garrett.
Is your biggest fear that these two rookies play just well enough to keep these idiots in charge for another year? Love the show, guys. We love Dr. Garrett. We love Dr. Garrett. What do you think?
That is my biggest fear.
Yes.
I think that is my biggest fear because I really think that this coaching staff is what's holding this team back. I'm fully convinced, especially after that Denver loss. So, listen, Scatterboo is really good. Dart is really good, and they're good enough probably to save some jobs in a certain situation. But I don't want to see that happen. I just think Dart would be so much better with a better coach who could actually close out these games with him. So, yeah, that's my biggest fear.
They should save Shane's job, and that's it. That's the way I look at it, honestly.
I know
you're not a big Shane fan, but I listen, man. Scatterboo is Shane.
I think Shane's gonna stay, Bad Dog. I side with you. I think he's gonna stay, but Dable might not.
Go ahead.
I thought you meant Shane Bowen. I thought you were making a joke.
No Shane. No Shane.
That's why I laughed. I was like, yeah, right. Save his job.
Joe Shane. That Shane, like I said, Shane Bowen should have been. They should have left him in the tarmac in Denver. He shouldn't have even got on the damn plane after that.
Did you guys see the video of him on the sidelines during the Eagles game? I had secondhand embarrassment so bad that I actually felt bad for him.
Oh,
and I was like, I still want this guy fired. The way that the play, for those of you who haven't seen it, during the Eagles game, there's like a couple clips of Bowen on the sideline. So one of them is after Cordell Flott scores the touchdown or the interception. He gives him a big hug and he's like, seems fine for a second. And then there's another shot where there's like players sitting on the bench and Bowen seems like he's talking to them and they're not listening to him. They're talking to each other.
Yeah,
it was so awkward.
Yeah. I said the same thing. I'm like, yeah, they don't even pay attention to him because they know he sucks.
Yeah.
So,
and I give Burns a lot of credit for, covering his tracks or whatever. Like he said what he had to say about trying to defend the outburst after the game. And I'm like, listen, bro, we're all on your side here. Don't worry about us. But, I think if you're Dable, how do you go back into the building on Monday after that game and sit down your defensive players and say, he's not stupid. He knows that Burns was upset about that. He was sobbing at his goddamn locker and all the players were upset by it. And Dexter was obviously upset he wasn't on the field.
Yeah.
So I just don't get, what are you saying to your players at that point to sell them on Bowen and say, listen, I know we're taking on the Eagles this week. I know some of Bowen's calls have been the reasons why we lost games, but it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening there. I think maybe the players are a lot more forgiving than we are, but if I had to deal with him every day and go into practice and already had to have a conversation with the coordinator and be like, be aggressive. And then the head coach has to tell you to be aggressive and you're still not fucking doing it.
Yeah, it would have been one thing it would have been one thing losing the Dallas game like that, which was terrible in itself anyway. But then to do the same shit and to lose the same way with about the same amount of time on the clock, just doesn't make sense.
No one learns their lessons around here. They do the same shit over and over again.
That's why.
And this is why I'm going to be so mad about the kicker thing on Sunday. That's a fireable offense to me. If you go into this game with 38-year-old Graham Gano coming off an injury who injures himself in fucking warmups. You can't go into this game without Koo. And I know it's absurd to have two kickers on your roster. I don't give a fuck. It is one game that we are talking about. And at some point you have to be like, hey, we can't make the same mistake over and over again. It's why we lose football games. And maybe, just maybe, we want to win if we want to be here for more than the end of this year. And I agree with Bad Dog that I think Joe Shane has done in the last 2 years specifically, I think he's done a relatively good job as GM in the draft, in free agency. I like the Burns trade. There are some things that I like that he did, but the roster mismanagement that has gone on for 4 years is unacceptable to me. And that would be the biggest thing, especially with this whole kicker situation, that come January, you just can't overlook all of that stuff.
Yeah. They'll probably draft the kicker at some point this year. I bet you that happens.
I hope so.
At least they could have cut Gano and saved $6 million? He was the biggest savings if they cut somebody, which is crazy. It was crazy. I'm pretty sure he was a biggest. What's that?
They still can cut him and save money technically.
Why the hell don't we cut him? What the hell? It's the difference.
He's our starting kicker now.
Yeah. For now, did you see him and Koo messing around? I put it on Twitter. I said, "Oh my God, take it easy." Like Koo touched his shoulder. I'm like, now Gano's got a shoulder issue because he got touched. I got to throw the guy in bubble wrap for Christ's sakes. Jason Danger says, just play Banks. Stock is so low, in my opinion. This is his last year to prove we don't trade you. He needs to relax, just play loose. We need him now. It's not going to happen. His mindset is shot to shit. He doesn't try. He doesn't give no effort. He doesn't give a fuck. And it's obvious. And he's a great example of you can be as talented as you want because he's very talented. But if you don't put in the work, man, you ain't succeeding at that level. Everybody at this level is talented. And the guys that work the hardest are the guys that succeed. He don't care. He don't care. He's done. He's so done. He has a bad attitude. It's what it is.
Yeah. I think he also doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I don't know why. To me, it seems like when I was watching some of the defensive film, I'm like, why is he going to the inside when he's supposed to be going to the outside? Like, he's not in the right place that he's supposed to be in.
Yeah. I can't read the playbook. I mean, he can't read anyway.
I would agree. I would agree with playing him because there's nothing to lose on him if the season didn't feel like it was still in grasp, Yeah, but like just responding to the super chat, saying he's got nothing to lose. It's the final year in his contract. It's not even the final year on his contract anyway. He's in year 3. He's got one more year, but plus a 5th-year option, which isn't going to get picked up. But I would agree with it if the Giants season wasn't in reach. Like, they're 2-5. If they win on Sunday, they'll be 3-5. They'll be only 2 games back from first place. But if we were 0-6 or 0-7 or whatever, yeah, put all those guys out there and see if they can turn the season around or turn their careers around, whatever. But with the Giants still competitive, put the best guys on the field. Don't put other guys get the minutes.
Yeah. I only think you have to play Banks this week because I don't think Adebo's going to play. But when Adebo's healthy, Banks should not see the field, period. Cordell Flott's played way too good, and Adebo's clearly much better than Deonte Banks. But this week, I don't think they have much of a choice but to put Banks out there.
As you talking about playing Art Green, I'd rather see Al Green out there, for Christ's sakes. I mean, people that are old enough to remember Al Green, you know who I'm talking about. Put Joe Green out there, crying out loud. I don't care, man. JC, then I'd rather draft the receiver and possibly trade for a corner, get rid of Banks. This year will be about developing Dart, draft hot receivers next year. Yeah, it's just, that's why I'm saying no matter what the Giants do, I'm just looking at the development of guys like Abdul Carter, Jackson, or Cam Scatterbo. They're obviously the future. So
yeah. I think we could use another corner with proven talent too. They've drafted 3 corners, and Cordell Flott is the only one who's good, and it's taken him until year 4 to get there. Or they've drafted 3 corners in the first, I don't know, couple rounds, but they I don't know. They've drafted a lot of corners, and
they've taken Drew Phillips, they've taken Cordell Flott, Deonte
Phillips, Banks, Flott, Corey
Hawkins. He was a 6th-round pick, but Trey Hawkins was another.
Trey Hawkins.
Yeah.
I agree. I'd rather get an experienced corner. I'd probably rather get an experienced wide receiver as well, if I'm being honest. If there's a trade available, I think I'd want both. and still be open to drafting one in the first round too. Just draft best available player. But I think they need experienced players at those positions next year, especially like I said, I don't think Neighbors is going to be himself next year, probably for the majority of the year next year. So you need to get Dart as much help as you can.
It's very weird to go into a year because it seems like we've been doing this for 6 years, 5 years, where we're looking at the draft and looking who's available. But I'm not doing it. It's not because I feel like we're going to end up being 7-10, which I think the Giants could definitely reach 7-10. But you have your quarterback, and now it's just get your best player available. Like the whole tank for this guy, tank for that guy was always for a quarterback. So now, no matter where the hell you're picking, if you're picking 11th, it's not like you're going to lose out on a quarterback because you're picking 11th and not 3rd. So it's way different now. Chris, you might have been in the same. Maybe it was Anthony. I forgot. But when you have a quarterback, it's easier to build around. You got your main piece, and now it's kind of like the roots of a tree, and you got your strong foundation. Now you got to build off of it. So I love Jackson Dart. I don't care what the haters say. Fuck the haters. Harry, thank you. He says, do you think the Colts versus Giants next year will be a primetime game? I absolutely do.
Yes.
Also,
after they win the Super Bowl, for sure.
Yeah. I hope Daniel Jones does win the Super Bowl because then I can ask you fans, is he elite now? Because he won a Super Bowl. Because I said that for years on that Super Friends channel. If Daniel Jones was on the Eagles, he would take that team to the Super Bowl. Without question.
Well, he's basically showing you that he could this year. I mean,
yeah, I don't.
Those Eagles
do the Colts have a better roster in Philly offensively?
No, they do not.
I think Jonathan Taylor's better than Saquon. I mean, that I'll give him, but
not last year. He's not better than last year.
No. But I'm saying this year he is.
Yeah.
But like Tyler Warren's a beast. Dallas Goedert's really good, but I don't think the Colts receivers.
The Colts don't have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
So Daniel Jones playing an MVP level. It's amazing how that works.
And the Eagles had a better defense too than the Colts have.
Yeah. Henry says, "Do you think that?" Oh, I did that already. So I celebrated too early, got drunk, and smoked. Hey, Chris, I'll tell you, I was never comfortable in that game. Never.
No, you can't be.
Never. When Tracy ran for the touchdown, that was probably the most relaxed I was. I figured, okay, the defense gave up that touchdown. We got it right back. Let's go back to what we were doing. Let's finish this shit off and let's go. Not meant to be. And the only reason I was scared at the end of that was because we saw it in Dallas, and sure as shit, we had a sequel. When you have a really shitty movie, there's no reason to make a sequel. But we decided to do it anyway. SPP Williams, our guy. He says, happy collective day. I'm not optimistic, but I love Dart as a quarterback. He seems to have a New York dude, aggression, no BS. He's an exciting player to watch. Couldn't agree more. We got our guy. We got our guy. He's got everything you want in a quarterback, man. He's got to work on stuff. We knew he wasn't a finished product coming out of Ole Miss. He has to work on that deep ball. He's been very inaccurate with that. He's under Tony's over. I think that's just footwork, honestly. And I again. But to our point, can Brian Daboll's the quarterback guru? Can he teach him that? Or do you need to bring somebody else in here that can teach him that? Because he couldn't teach Daniel Jones shit about shit.
Daboll's not a quarterback guru. I'm not saying that he doesn't know quarterbacks, but I don't think he's of the level of some of these other guys. Look at Daniel Jones with Shane Steichen. I mean,
Kevin O'Connell, baby.
Kevin O'Connell. Look what So I don't put him on the level of a Kevin O'Connell. I don't.
No.
Personally.
The thing is, when it comes to teaching a quarterback something or teaching any NFL player something, it's not necessarily the coach's job to teach them how to do something, right? They're supposed to coach them, put them in positions to win, but the teaching part of it is kind of different. That you usually see the players work on in the offseason. Like their footwork isn't just going to naturally, get better overnight. They're going to have to train on that all offseason long. And when you think back to when Josh Allen was in Buffalo, there's that one video, maybe you guys have seen it. I think it was pretty viral, but Josh Allen did an interview with his personal trainer that he worked out with in the off seasons, the quarterbacks coach that he works with. I can't remember which quarterbacks coach it is. Otherwise I'd say his name, but he had Josh Allen completely rework the way his hips move. And then all of a sudden he became an accurate passer. It was all in the hips. It was just that he needed an outside trainer to teach him how to throw the ball the proper way. That's something that a NFL coach doesn't teach you. You need a trainer to teach you that. So, and I think again, Jackson Dart, he'll train in the offseason. The kid wants it. He has definitely got a good work ethic. He'll find a good trainer and he's going to fix those little things. So it's not going to happen this year, but draft a quarterback for 1 year. He's hopefully here for a decade forward, plus. I want him here for 2 decades. So, that's obviously plenty to learn.
Going forward. But like it's talked about next year. Like he gets better at that. I mean, I think he's already the real deal, but if he learns how to be more accurate where you can really stretch the field, especially when Neighbors is healthy, that's going to be huge when you have that deep play threat. So everybody talks about how he overthrew Jalen Hyatt, and he did a little bit, I guess. You think Jalen Hyatt would have caught the ball?
Probably not.
Anthony, don't.
Right through his fucking hands.
Oh, it's the best. That's the best. Thank you. Our first round cornerbacks are so bad. Ross was average at best. Prince was also average. Apple was a bust. Baker, another bust. Banks is the worst of all. Boy, we do have a shitty track record of freaking. At least Aaron Ross was part of a championship team.
That's a tricky position to draft, though. I feel like there's a lot of busts with first round corners, but yes, we do have a bad track record.
That's a tough position.
I remember Jeff Okudah. Everyone said he was like the next Darrelle Revis, complete bust. That's a tough position to draft.
Prince
he had some injuries too, though. Sorry, I was just going to say the one common denominator though that I see with all of those cornerbacks, the Giants were drafting with a need for every single one of those. It wasn't the best player on the board any single time they took those corners, and that is oftentimes a trend because the secondary, there's so many players that have to fill out a secondary, and it's such a volatile position. The primes are very short for the top cornerbacks in the NFL, and a lot of those players get injured frequently. So essentially why you see so many cornerbacks go in the first round is because you have to draft them for need. It's one of those positions that you kind of have to reach on, but when you do, sometimes you do get burnt, and that's why, you're seeing a rookie 24th overall pick cornerback immediately as a CB1 of the New York Giants. Yeah, he's going to get thrown into the fire. He's going to get burned, especially in this division, and that's ultimately what happened to Deonte Banks long term. So drafting for need is just that's what you're playing with fire.
Yeah, without question. That's just that's the problem. I don't think obviously we needed a quarterback, but you did it. Every team needs a quarterback. It's always a need until you find one. And it takes some teams longer to find one. I mean, a lot of teams don't ever find that guy. So I think we found ours. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring this portion of the show. Check out Sleeper. Again, almost 11 million people are using it. Fast and easy to make a contest. You just click the link in the description under the promo code HMA. Get a 100% match deposit bonus up to $100. And click that link, open a Sleeper account. You're going to get $20, no deposit required. That way you can check it out and see if you like it. And if you do, you're still eligible for that $100 match deposit bonus. Let's hear from Sleeper. 30 seconds. Back after this.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code HMA. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
I'm laughing at what Nonstopper said. Chauncey Billups should have used Sleeper.
Yeah. Chauncey Billups. Yeah, it's great. The NBA, you can't get enough. You wonder why the ratings are super low in that sport.
What was the guy? One of the guys, I read it briefly because I was leaving work today. I don't know if it was Terry Rozier or another player. Apparently they leaked that LeBron wasn't going to play. I think it was the game last? Did LeBron not play last night?
No, LeBron's out for like a month.
Then they must have been talking about a prior year in a game where nobody knew that LeBron wasn't going to play. The guy leaked the information to like insiders, so he got arrested for that. So crazy. That was a crazy story today, the NBA gambling scandal.